Good evening, everyone. This is Robert, and welcome to the stream to do with the CPE writing. It is the second part of the stream, isn't it? It's the second part, yeah. And if you are new to this channel, I'd consider you subscribe because you will get a lot of benefit out of this. A lot of the streams that we do are about exams. Let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. And today we're doing the sample of CPE exam. So that's what we're doing today. We're doing a proper sample of a CPE paper, which is going to be very, very comfortable for you actually, because if you know, if you learn how to write proper CPE, then it's never a problem, is it? So without further ado, we go into it. So, part one. So you've got two texts given in the CPE paper, right? So you have two texts given inside the CPE paper, and you have to summarize and evaluate the key points from both texts. That's the important part. If you can evaluate and summarize both parts, you've done the text, you've done the question, but that's just the beginning of it. So let me go ahead. You have to write between 240 and 280 words. I'm gonna flick through this quite quickly. So the first text is the excitement of advertising. Normally these texts are on the same topic, but from different angles. So the first text says outdoor advertising has to attract, engage and persuade potential customers. It is the most important way of grabbing customers' attention, and outdoor media continue to undergo a transformation. At the core of this transformation is the digital screen media, which encompass, now media is intended as plural here, so encompass would be the plural verb. Everything from giant screens to digital boards. The technology is cheap and advertising agencies rave about the creative possibilities for advertisements, which entertain, amuse, inform, make the environment brighter and enliven the world we live in. That's the first text. The second text is advertising an undesirable business. As I was telling you, that normally the second text will be different in terms of viewpoint, but about the same topic. So once upon a time, outdoor advertising was straightforward, means it was easy. Posters were stuck up on anything from a bus shelter to a motorway hoarding. Many people considered this kind of advertising to be fairly dull, harmless, blot on the landscape, and chose to ignore it. These people now regard digital advertising as a form of unwanted, creeping commercialization. It attracts a buzz simply because it's new. They feel that any advertising which targets children or vulnerable adults is dubious practice at the best of times, and digital advertising is moreover wasteful and damaging to the environment and completely unnecessary. So these are the two texts. So this is the highlighted part. I highlighted the keywords in red. Just a reminder, number one, you can download this file after the stream, roughly about 10 minutes after the stream. And secondly, if you're doing IELTS or if you're doing CAE, the principal concepts of writing an essay do not change. They are the same. So you will reap a lot of benefit if you do that. Same thing I did with the second text. I highlighted the words and here we go. This is the sample answer. Title. Now, I like to have a title to my essays because it's a bit like looking at a person and not seeing their head. So you don't know who you're talking to. So the title is always a good idea. However, you can write the title afterwards, because you've had time to think about what you're writing, and therefore you're able to formulate a concise, sharp, attractive title rather than writing at the beginning and then changing it. And anyways, time wasting. So you want to write the essay first and then at the end the title maybe. So this was my title, this was the title in this case, Hurtling Towards an Abyss. Hurtling means going very fast without much control, without much control, a bit like a runaway train. So this is the first paragraph. Advertising is at the very core of our product-based society. Rightly or wrongly, we are immersed in an environment where we are constantly targeted by ads, TV commercials, and other forms of publicity. Not surprisingly, therefore, concerns are raised regarding the methods, and some people believe that not a great deal of thought has been poured into this change. So that would be your introduction. So as soon as you start planning your essay, remember that introduction paragraph is very important from many points of view. Number one, it gives you a basis to write with. So you start off writing your essay, you've got your introduction, you talk about the topic from a general point of view, and you can kind of summarize the points which are in the essay, or you could talk about it in more generic terms. It's up to you. In this particular paragraph, you can see that we're talking about our society based on products being sold, isn't it? So advertising is everything. And then we say rightly or wrongly, so we are not taking a position. Okay, Federica's saying she can't hear me properly. Just a second. Okay, let me know in the comments if now you can hear me properly. That would be good. So advertising is at the very core of our product-based society. Rightly or wrongly, we are immersed in an environment where we are constantly targeted by ads. So you're looking for collocations like constantly targeted, product-based, and there's another interesting thing I wanted to mention. We talked about parallelism. I mentioned parallelism some time ago. It's a long word to say. It's not a difficult concept to understand. You need to use that in your writing. So we're going to touch on that today. We're not actually going to explore what parallelism is, but it's important to use advanced techniques when you're writing an essay at a CAE, CPE, or an IELTS level. So in this case, there are some parallels. Mainly, if you can see my mouse, where it says targeted by ads, TV commercials, and other forms of publicity. That's the kind of parallelism. Okay, thanks, Federica. Big up to Federica, who's now able to hear me. So, should we go ahead? So, second paragraph, you're summarizing the first text. So basically, you're trying to summarize the text in ways which do not use the words which are in the text. So you're talking about the concept, but you're not using the words because that's what they don't want. They will penalize you if you use the words. So this one goes like this. Technology has taken giant leaps, which means big steps, over the last 50 years, and ad men, meaning people who do ads, have taken full advantage by moving from paper-based campaigns such as billboards and broadsheets to its digital kind. Now let me know if you can see the slides, because last time round I did the whole stream and I realized that nobody could see the slides, and I like shot myself in the head almost because it's terrible. I had to do the stream again. So let me know in the comments if you can see the slide. Just say yes, and that would be good. So sensuous color schemes. spellbinding phraseology, and hypnotizing graphics provide an experience which is beyond belief for the human mind. So, this is difficult, I understand, for many students, but you need to do some research before you write an essay. And you can only do that when you're practicing, not when you go into the exam. So that's why writing essays is so important that you do before the exam. You have to write about 10, 12, 20 essays so you can get the language going that you can then use in the exam. So this person who wrote this, not actually me, wrote that the word sensuous refers to our senses. Phraseology refers to books. Hypnotizing refers to our senses again. So you will probably notice that a lot of words have some kind of correlation with the. Thanks, Alessandra, for letting me know. A lot of words have to do with senses. So you can either talk about a particular topic from a sensuous point of view, or you can talk about it from factual point of view, from both, etc. So, it's experience which is beyond belief. That's a collocation for the human mind. So this simplifies, in a way, what was written in the first text. Yes. This is the second text. The change has not gone unnoticed, though, and the younger segment of the population has been shepherded into the fold, like sailors to the sirens. I mean, younger people have been pushed together into following the adverts and the commercials and what have you. A bit like the sirens, not the sirens on the top of the police. That's not the siren we're talking about. We're talking about the sirens of the Odyssey. I think Odyssey was the book where sirens are singing to, oh goodness me, who was it? Hercules? Was it Hercules? And they were very beautiful, but at the same time very dangerous. So there's a parallel here between what happened in Odyssey. I think Odyssey was the book, and what's happening today in our daily life. So in this case, by drawing this parallel between the two situations, you can almost convince the reader what's going on. That's the whole point. The parallels help, which is different from parallelism in text, which is a completely different concept. So by drawing parallels, you can sound more convincing, and you get more sophistication in your writing, because you're able to relate to other texts and other situations and draw a parallel between those two. Very good. Never before, and that is an inversion. Never before has the razzmatazz, which is actually a word, did you know? It means all the glitz and the glamour and, all the beautiful looking things, all the glitters, all the razzmatazz of ads been so convincing in getting us to notice and subsequently crave for often unnecessary items. So again, the writer uses the word crave. Crave is when you want something very much, almost uncontrollably. So that's what the writer is referring to, that, we become uncontrollable beasts, like zombies, walking around looking for things to buy, almost like that. Have you read the book by T.S. Eliot? It's called Wasteland. I'm sure you have at school. And it's a bit like that, when people are walking around, in a daze, as though they're high. So there's a parallel there as well. Because at CPE or CAE level, you're expected to write with a lot of sophistication. It's the highest level of exam. I mean, if you're not able to write well there, where else are you going to learn? So this is the final exam. You've got to do well. The same goes with IELTS. If you want to get an 8 or 7.5, then you've got to write well. The extremely carefully crafted ad campaigns often prey, like a predator, prey on the innocent in broad daylight as governments or watchdog committees. Watchdog committees are organizations which are meant to control and check what's happening in the ads, have taken a backseat. There are powerful lobbies at play, meaning there are powerful lobbies which are working, and it could be argued that they, in effect, are the true powers in our modern society, despite having no regards for the environment or society at large. So that's what that says. The lobbies are the most powerful, in the opinion of the writer, are more powerful than the governments themselves, because they fund the government, yeah? So if you are selling, up to a few years ago, we used to sell cigarettes, we used to advertise cigarettes everywhere. So if that was allowed, it was because of the lobbies of cigarettes, That's been banned now, but, just to tell you how it goes. And then you have the last, you've got rhetorical questions. How did we sleepwalk to this place? How did we get here? What is our future? So the use of rhetorical language, the use of rhetoric and questions is extremely powerful, is as powerful as writing a good paragraph. So do not underestimate that. You have to build up to that. You have to bring the reader to that point and then ask a question. You can't do that right at the beginning. Well, you could. It depends on how you write it, but you can use this technique to boost your level. Okay, so we are at the last part, I think, conclusion. Society which relies on extreme consumerism is bound to eat itself from the inside and end. So again, there's like a theme going through this essay of senses, of losing control, of sirens, of it's the style of the writer. He's chosen to write like that. So it's bound to eat itself from the inside and end. The word end is very good because it's a small word. It's at the end of the sentence, so it's a bit like it's an image of a word within the word. Environmental damage caused by our reckless pursuit of materialistic things. These are combos of sentences, of phrases that you should learn and perhaps use. Reckless pursuit of materialistic things are gangrene to our souls. Gangrene, if you know what I mean, it's like when your body goes bad and it starts to die. That's gangrene. And normally it's on the body, but this is on the soul. Unless we recognize the need to hold back our urges, what we want, to hold them back, spurred, pushed on by TV commercials and their likes, we are sitting on a ticking time bomb, So it's going tick, 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 and it's going to go poof, for which we have only ourselves to blame. We must pursue the path to sustainable economy where excess is rooted out and moderation is championed. We will find the resolve to do so. Will we find the resolve to do so is the question. So the writer leaves us with a question that will we find our way out of this? So this is possibly let's say 4 to 5. 5 is the maximum you get in the CPE exam. It's well written. It flows. If you notice, it wasn't hard to understand. It made its point. It also did the task. It summarized the points and added to the points. So if you're doing the CA or CPE exam, this is the style you need to follow. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer, because this is what I do. I try to help out students if they're doing hard exams. They need all the help they can get, and by doing, you know, sample essays, you can get really good marks. So if you are ready to ask any questions, otherwise I will wish you good night and head out to the next stream, which is tomorrow morning, by the way. If you like this stream, do remember to put a like on the stream, please. That would be very appreciated. So I'm not seeing any questions, so that would mean that I'm about to leave you guys. Have a very good evening, and you will find this file in the description. You can download it, you can look at it, print it out, put it up on your, you know, no, just joking. But, you know, learn a little bit from it. It'll be very good. Let me know in the comment section if you need anything, if you have a difficult question to answer. Perhaps we can do it somewhere in the future. And I believe next week we're doing a CAE sample. So all the students who are doing the CAE, hang in there, because that's what we're doing next week. Have a great weekend as well, because it's around the corner, isn't it? Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. I am, because I'm absolutely shattered. I've just started streaming like almost every day, and it's tiring me out. But I'm happy that it's working, because people are joining in and they're saying, you know, well done, and it's useful. So if it is useful, I want to do it. And let me know if you need any help, and I wish you good night. That was quite interesting.